Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about current versus non-current assets. Whenever you prepare a financial statement, whether it is under IFRS or Ind AS, you need to classify the assets into two categories. One is current and another is non-current asset. In this video, I'll explain you the logics behind current and non-current assets and how the companies classify assets into current and non-current. If you are new to this channel, request you to subscribe to this channel. So let's start. Let's start with a simple question. Why assets need to be classified as current or non-current assets? So I'm going to give an example of an individual, and from there you can understand why we need to classify the assets into current and non-current. So there is one individual, his name is Mr. Alexander, and on a particular day, the assets what he is holding is a saving bank account of rupees 2 lakhs in ICICI Bank. He has a own house which is 1.5 crore, and he has invested in PPF account, and the balance outstanding in PPF account is 30 lakhs. The investment period is 15 years for PPF, and out of that, 9 years he has invested. That means he can't withdraw this money for next 6 years. So what is the total asset Mr. Alexander is having? That is 2 lakh plus 1.5 plus 30 lakhs. So it is around 1.82 crores. Now, Mr. Alexander is planning to go with his family for an international holiday trip, and the money what he's estimating is around 5 lakhs. Now in this scenario, if Mr. Alexander need money, whether he has money in his hand or he has money in his bank balance which he can withdraw for rupees 5 lakh, the answer is no. Why? Because the amount in saving bank account is only rupees 2 lakhs, whereas the amount blocked in PPF is 30 lakhs which he can't withdraw. So what is the option available for Mr. Alexander now? He has to borrow money for the international trip, as the liquid cash available is only rupees 2 lakh, which is available in his saving bank account. So in this example, what we understood, even though he is holding assets of 1.82 crores, the amount he can use for his operating or for his day-to-day expenses is only rupees 2 lakhs. Why? Because that is the liquid cash he is holding. The remaining two, 1.5 crore, which is immovable property, as well as 30 lakhs PPF, is of no use for his current requirement, because PPF has a lock-in period, and immovable property, unless the situation is very bad, he will not sell it for operating purpose, right? So here if you see, the 2 lakh rupees which he can use immediately, or the liquid cash, generally classified as current assets, and the assets which he can't liquidify or which he can't convert to cash immediately, the 1.5 crore and 30 lakhs in PPF, are classified as non-current. But in corporate, there are a little bit more technical part which I'm going to explain in the upcoming slide. But general to understand as an lay example, this example will help you to understand what is current and what is non-current. Now let's understand from the accounting language point of view, what is the meaning of current assets and what is the meaning of non-current assets. So current assets are short-term resources convertible to cash within a year. Example, bank balance, trade receivable, inventory. Whereas non-current assets are long-term holdings for ongoing operations. Example, building, plant and machinery, intangible assets. So now you can correlate this example or this definition with the example in the previous slide where I talked about the PPF account and the balance in saving bank account. So whatever you can convert within 1 year into cash is current assets. Whatever you can't convert or you're holding it to generate revenue of the company in future, like building, plant and machinery, those are treated as non-current assets. And this is how the company classify current asset versus non-current assets. Now let's understand how these current and non-current assets are reported in the financial statement. So under assets, you have two categories. One is non-current and one is current. Under non-current, there are two type of assets reported. One is tangible and another is intangible. Tangibles are the asset which you can touch and see, whereas intangible, you can't touch nor you can see those assets. So the examples of tangible assets are land and building, leasehold improvement, plant and machinery, furniture, IT assets like computer, printers, and vehicles. Whereas in case of intangible, the examples are goodwill, technical know-how, and software. On these assets, depreciation will be charged and based on the life of the assets, except land, because land you can't depreciate, and goodwill. So goodwill you can't depreciate, but you can do the impairment for the goodwill if you feel that the company is not able to generate sufficient cash. Now, the second part is current. That means, as we discussed in the previous slide, which the company has the intention to convert into the cash in next 12 months. So the examples here are sundry debtors or balance outstanding from customer, inventory, tax credit with government, bank balance or cash in hand, and short-term deposits. So here I have given only the examples, but this is not the complete list. Calculation of current and non-current assets. How do we calculate or how do we segregate how much will be parked as current and how much to be reported as non-current assets? Let's take an example. XYZ Limited paid insurance premium of rupees 2,40,000 for 2 years as on 31st March 2025 for its employees. What are the accounting entries to be posted for 2 years? That means on 31st March 2025, XYZ Limited paid a premium of 2,40,000, but the coverage is for 2 years. That is till 31st March 2027, right? So let's see what are the accounting entries. On 31st March 2025, the entry to be posted is, so here if you see 2,40,000 has been paid for 2 years. So the first 12 months, whatever prepaid you are going to convert to expenses will be treated as current, and the subsequent 12 months will be treated as non-current, because you are not going to treat the expenses of 2,40,000 immediately, right? It has to be amortized for next 2 years. So here non-current prepaid insurance account debited 1,20,000, current prepaid expenses 1,20,000, to insurance vendor account 2,40,000. This is the first entry. Now, during April 2025 to March 2025, you have to book the expenses here, right? So insurance expense account debited 1,20,000 to current prepaid insurance account 1,20,000. Why from current? Because these are the prepaid insurance which we have classified as current because we are going to utilize in next 12 months. So that has to be utilized fast. Now, on 31st March 2026, what additional entry you are going to post? On 31st March 2026, the non-current portion which was treated on 31st March 2025 will be converted to current, because on 31st March 2026, the period of remaining period is only 12 months. That is till 31st March 2027. So the entry what you are going to post here is current prepaid insurance account debited 1,20,000 and two non-current prepaid insurance 1,20,000. And on 31st March 2026, there will be no non-current prepaid insurance to be reported, because now the remaining amortization period is only 12 months from the date of reporting. That is 31st March 2026. Now coming to the last slide, how it helps the shareholders to understand the business. So the first point is short-term liquidity insights. Shareholders evaluate if current assets exceed current liabilities using ratios like current ratios, current assets divided by current liabilities. So as we discuss about current assets, similarly current liabilities also are the liabilities which the company is going to pay in next 12 months time. So the shareholder generally calculate the current ratio to find out the liquidity situation of the company. A ratio above 1 signals ability to pay bills without distress, revealing operational cash flow health. Weak current asset may flag liquidity risk, prompting sales of non-core assets. Second point is long-term solvency signals. Non-current assets show investments in growth, such as factories or patents, indicating expansion plans. Rising non-current assets suggest future revenue potential, but declines, example from sales or impairment, could mean downsizing or distress. This helps gauge sustainability beyond 1 year. And the last is efficiency and risk assessment. Tracking metrics like inventory turnover from current assets reveal operational efficiency. Combined views prevent over-reliance on illiquid non-current assets for short-term needs, aiding risk evaluation. So shareholders use this for informed decision on dividend, investment, or exit. So this is all about current and non-current. Hope you have understood how to classify that. Share with your friends if you like this video, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, request you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.